there was a project that like a lot of students were involved in, extracurricular project, and working on a kind of similar concept with the support of the uni and the incubator here called Launchpad. We decided to spin out the company from that project.
Yeah. Obviously, from that you've managed to win this award. How did it feel to sort of be recognised with the award?
Yeah, it was really good to be recognised by peers and in other industries as well as academia as well. It was kind of gave us a good vote of confidence. It was to help us kind of feel proud about what we're doing, So
with that award, obviously, it gives you the boost. I think I read it gets you mentoring. You go into a European expo. Is that?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So how's that going to help support StratoBooster as a company?
That's going to be tremendous help. I mean, we've used a lot of legal advice already to get us where we are now. Even going on further from there, because we're engineers, we know nothing about business, we know nothing about legalities. From that side, it's definitely helpful. In regards to the business trip, just getting our names out there. At the moment, we're still new in the area. Not many people have heard of StratoBooster, so even going over to Europe, telling them what we do.
And then making some contacts, networking, that's really important as well. So this expo hopefully give us a lot more names in our contact list.
How far, so obviously the overall aims of the project, how far do you reckon it's got the potential to go?
I think the potential is limitless really. Technology is getting smaller, and everything that we do, TVs are getting thinner and mobile phones are getting more advanced, and so same with space tech, it's getting more advanced and smaller as well, and so we feel that we're kind of a little bit ahead of the game in that, and so we've got a lot of faith in the fact that our space launch system and our technology and the other things that we're developing will fit right into the future.
As it stands, I believe you're on track to be the first student team, is it, in the world to put a rocket into space?
Yeah, it'll be the first student team to put anything into space. We're hoping to be the first to use this type of method, using a high altitude balloon and a rocket. And we are aiming to be the first from UK soil, but there are a few other companies out there that are on track as well.
So it's sort of a bit of a race to get there.
But yeah, like Southampton University, they've put a small satellite into space, or either they have or they're about to, but they haven't used their own rocket. Whereas the thing about us is that we're using our own rocket to get there, and no student team's done that.
So how so you've just talked about a bit about how the project works, how the balloon works. So I mean, from what I've gathered, balloon takes up to about 32 kilometres, and then from then it sort of uses rocket fuel propelled.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, so the rocket gets a piggyback ride on the balloon. The balloon takes it through the Earth's dense atmosphere to roughly 32 kilometres, where the rocket will launch from there, and the atmosphere really thin there, so that's why we use a small rocket, and not as much thrust is required from that altitude. So
does that also make it, obviously with it being a balloon taking up, does that make it sort of better for the environment in that sense, that you're not using as much fuel in?
Yeah, definitely. It's much more friendly for the environment.
Yeah, the rocket itself at the moment is just made of a phalonic plastic. It's just near enough cardboard impregnated with a special resin, and by the time it reaches when it launches at 32 kilometres up to roughly 100 kilometres, majority of the body itself is burnt away, leaving just the capsule of the nose and the satellite. And once that comes down, a majority of that will burn off, and then we'll be able to pick up the remnants. So there's no space debris left, which is a big problem at the moment.
Yeah. And then the ground pollution's minimum, because you don't have those huge rocket launches, kicking out loads of fumes and pollution.
So do you sort of plan on expanding from sending the satellites into a lot of bigger things, or are you is that the whole aim of the company specifically with these satellites?
I think one part of our unique selling point is our scale. We want to keep our scale small, and to capture that small satellite market. Yeah. So not just one company, but multiple companies. We do plan to increase the size of our capacity a little bit, but not too much.
Yeah,
keep it small in its scale, but big in its success.
Definitely. I mean, obviously you've already been recognised. You've won this award, the James Dyson Award as well. You've been nominated.
We were part of the James Dyson Award programme, but we weren't successful. But there was hundreds, if not thousands, of applicants for that from some crazy science things that
all over the world.
All over the world as well.
Yeah, so again, it's the recognition, I guess.
So again, it's the recognition for that, winning the If We Can You Can challenge, and obviously we won a few weeks ago we won the Ones to Watch challenge here at Teesside University, and that's great. And we also, back in June, we won the University Alliance Enterprise Star Awards down in Salford, pitching against 13 or 12 student businesses.
So you're clearly getting the recognition, people clearly can see the potential.
Yeah.
So I mean, in sort of on the subject of how far the product can go, how far do you see the company being able to expand? Are you looking to expand, I'm guessing?
Yeah, definitely looking to expand.
So ourselves, one of our other unique points is the flexibility of our launch platform, being able to launch near enough from outside anyone's back garden, from any school playground. So that's open up to any school or institution within the Great Britain. So from there, it's just taking that further afield.
Yeah.
Just aiming for the small satellite market and the small
space industry. We plan to stay on Teesside. As keep ourselves headquartered in Teesside. Obviously, if we develop further and we have to open up places elsewhere, we will do that. But we plan to stay on Teesside and hopefully reinvest in the area. There's a lot of skilled people here, and especially in the northeast as well. There's a lot of skilled people in the northeast, and we hope to build a kind of space network in the northeast to keep the skills in the northeast rather than having northeast graduates and people move away.
So what sort of originally attracted you to Teesside as a university? Because you've got still students here. What sort of, 'cause I mean, obviously it's got a well-renowned engineering programme, or set of programmes anyway. Is that what sort of pulled you into the area?
I guess for me, coming to Teesside, it was a fact I've lived on Teesside for over 20 years, and so I decided to go to university to retrain, and chose Teesside just because it was local rather than having to move away or travel far afield.
That's the same for me. I live down in North Yorkshire, which is only 25 miles away, and the other closest university that did aerospace was Leeds, but I thought, what's the point when you got Teesside on your doorstep? Just go there.
I mean, so obviously you say you want to keep sort of based in Teesside. Would you, like you sort of mentioned, you'd look to have locations elsewhere? Would that be sort of in the UK or even further afield if the chance arose?
Definitely in the UK, if we're lucky enough to develop our company and scale our business, and we have the need to have a satellite location somewhere else to do with the infrastructure in that area or whatever, then we would do that. Overseas, maybe, but we ideally we want to remain a UK company, and obviously some companies do that and have operations abroad, and if that's the case, we think our space launch systems can be used worldwide, and if that means having locations in Africa or Asia, then we would love to be able to do that.
I mean, it's something that's got huge military potential with being able to shoot the satellites up. How would you sort of look to do that, to adapt? Is there something specific?
Because of its flexibility of which launch locations, in my eyes, this can be used from with infantry. They can launch these satellites. I mean, the biggest part of it is the helium canister, but again, the size of like the terrain vehicles they can carry these satellites, and if they have an area where there's a lack of communication, it's perfect for them. They can put up a satellite. It only lasts 8 to 6 weeks, so it doesn't have to be a permanent fixture, and the costs are heavily reduced compared to the big satellites.
So what's sort of the time? So obviously, if again it was in the military and they've got to sort of be able to set it up quickly. What's sort of the time to be able to set it up and launch?
The time scale is really, if we've got the satellite and the permissions to launch, from UK airspace, which we have permissions to conduct balloon operations from multiple locations and multiple days. We can have it up in a few weeks. But literally, if a customer came along and said, I've got a satellite, I wanted to launch it, and we had a gap, it's a matter of days. You can do it with it's that flexible. Like Ben said, it's really flexible in its size. You can use it out the back of a small vehicle, really.
Obviously, comparing that to sort of your large-scale satellites, that's a huge time difference.
And the setup itself, so if you add all the components together, it's 25 minutes. The more you do it, the quicker you are, but it's 25 minutes, 30 minutes.